So I definitely like this guy. He not only drives a purple car, but he also is a YouTuber. I want to ask you about that first because thank you for promoting the platform on YouTube. Obviously, I don't know if you know what I do, but I cover the sport on YouTube, so it's great. There's not many people who do that, talk about IndyCar, so it's great that you've brought some of that Formula One audience over. Talk about how you've been able to reach out to new fans and get them interested in IndyCar.
Well, I think it's been fun just because IndyCar is so open, and I was able to bring my GoPro everywhere and do some cool stuff using the onboard from the cars as well. And then I guess my story, what was it? 9 months ago, I was left dead for 30 seconds or so, jumped out of the fire, and got back to racing. And I think people really enjoy that. Traveling in the US, I've been amazed by the support I've received. I was in New York City for 4 days this week, and I mean that Liberty Statue, Empire State Building, top of the Rock, Times Square, Broadway, name it. I do selfies with people, and it's incredible. I mean, people are like, "Oh, you're the Romain Grosjean." Like, yeah, and it's been absolutely amazing. So I think it's like I want to show as much as I can, but the feedback I had from the fans and the viewing has been incredible. So it's a win-win situation.
Sure, and that's something that's been really cool to follow with you on social media is you showing your family around the United States. Tell us a little bit about the U.S. experience and how they've been enjoying it.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, they didn't want to go back home. They flew yesterday back to Europe and they weren't happy. I mean, the kids are going back to school, so that could be a part of the explanation, but we had a really good time. The welcome from Americans in general, from the US, has been outstanding. Nothing that we could have hoped for any better. We've spent almost 2 months, more than a month and a half in a bus, the five of us. So you can imagine that, it's not that much space after quite a bit, and it went well. And we've done 9 states. It's just been great.
What's your favorite state so far?
I loved it all. I've got something for Wisconsin. I like Wisconsin, maybe because there's one of the best racetrack in the world, but I like the nature that you get to see there, Lake Michigan, and it's always been cool to go there.
So let's get down to business about this week. I know you tested here a couple of weeks ago. What's your comfort level with Gateway here, and what are you expecting to learn in a one-day show? It's going to be a steep learning curve.
It's a steep learning curve. Between the free practice and the end of the race, I think it's 10 hours or so. So it's going to go fast. One day of testing is nowhere near enough to feel fully comfortable with an IndyCar on an oval. But I enjoyed it, and I come here ready to take some experience. I want to learn as much as I can. 260 laps here on tomorrow night. It's going to be lots of laps. So, the truth from one stint may not be the truth from the next one.
Obviously, your team's very experienced, Dale Coyne Racing, and obviously Rick Ware Racing as well. They come from the NASCAR side of things, very oval experienced. Who have you kind of been leaning on for advice to learn how to adapt to this new style of racing for you?
Well, Dale generally has been really good with me, from leading my first rolling start at the Indy GP in May to coming to an oval. He's been really good. My engineer Olivier Boisson, we've got a very good relationship, and he's got some great experience. He's been working with some of the best drivers on ovals. I think he won the Indy 500 with Tony Kanaan. He's been working with Sébastien Bourdais for many years. So that's key for me as well. And leaning on my teammates at Jones to try to understand what the car needs to do and copy that.
So what do you think is a realistic expectation? Is it just to get to the end of the race, or do you think you want to shoot for like a top 10 or something like that?
I don't know. I don't want to put any targets. I'm a racer, so I always want to do well for sure. But I think more importantly is to get to the end of the race and make sure that I've done the maximum I could in terms of learning and not making mistakes and going forward.
Final question from me. Looking forward to next year. I know you're probably not going to tell me where you're driving next year, but I assume you want to stay here in the United States. Do you want to run a full season, or is it kind of dependent on this race here to find out if, hey, do I like this oval stuff or not?
Yeah, I think that there's a little bit of everything. I think I've enjoyed coming to the US. I didn't think I could enjoy it that much, and I'm having a lot of fun, really. Apart from the car ballast, we've already had to remove 5 pounds on the car because I'm putting too much weight. But apart from that, it's been an incredible experience. Next year, I don't know. I don't really want to talk about it on a race weekend. I'm in a comfortable seat right now, just because I've had some interest from different parties. But time will tell when I'll make my decision.